Here's how you can easily enhance painting color in Photoshop. If you have an image where you have a really strong light source like this one, where you have really strong shadows and a strong light, you're going to have all this bounce light and light jumping around from the different surfaces. And sometimes it's really hard to get a really nice bounce light from the 3D side of things. You'll have to sort of fake it. A way that we can do that is that if we understand how this light bounces throughout the scene, you're gonna see that the light sources are going to touch a subject matter or a surface, and then it's gonna jump into our shadow areas of the object, like here. And so I have this really strong light source coming from the top left, jumping down, touching the ground and touching the surface or the object, and then jumping back into the shadow area that we have over here. In Photoshop, if I have the object here and I wanna paint that surface here, I'm going to actually color pick the surface that I want to paint on. I'm going into my color here and to select the color. And normally in Photoshop by default, you are here on this H here, right? Which you get this sort of square. What I like to do is I like to go to this A option here. And the way that this works is that my color that I pick is going to be somewhere in the center here of this square that you have here. And the way that I use this is that everything that is on the right side of my color, right? So everything over here is going to be a warmer sort of temperature of that color. Everything on the left is going to be the opposite, a cooler temperature of that color. Everything above my color selection is going to be a lighter value, and then everything underneath it is going to be a darker value. And so if I want to paint a warmer bounce light, is going to be a lighter, warmer color. So I'm going to the right and up a little bit, right? So I'm not going to go very far because that's going to make it too contrast, but I'm just going to go right and up a little bit like that. And I want to make it a little bit warmer than what I had out here. So it's just a very little touch. Once I have that, I can easily, with a soft brush, very lightly sort of color the area that I want, or paint the area that I want, tweaking it and painting a little bit. I'm doing it in a separate layer so I can actually edit it or erase it if I need to and sort of control that. So it's going to be a little bit more intense at the bottom than on the top. And so I want to do that sort of gradient. You can see how easily I can add that sort of ambient light or bounce light coming into there by adding that particular new color. Now you can easily use your texture brushes or any type of brush that effect that you want to have, and you can see how easily you can add this sort of like painterly sort of effect using that technique by adding that bounce light.